Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. Please subscribe and keep watching more details. Housewives star Jen Shah gets new prison release date. Housewives star Jen Shah was sentenced to nearly 7 years in prison in 2023. The sentence has been changed for the second time. When is her new release date? Keep reading for all the details. Housewives continues without main star. The Real Housewives shows are an ensemble, but there's little doubt that Jen Shah was the main character of The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. Her quips and iconic outfits kept all eyes on her. During her 3 seasons on the show, Jen Shah had more than her share of outbursts and drama, but nothing beat the drama of the moment the feds came looking for her. Turns out she was about to be arrested for her part in a telemarketing scheme. Despite professing her innocence throughout Season 3, the reality TV star copped a plea deal at the last minute and pleaded guilty. Despite being in prison, she was still mentioned during Season 4 when the other ladies reacted to her guilty plea. Hater Gay also admitted that Jen Shah gave her the black eye during a cast trip. Season 5 of Housewives started last month, and it seems the cast is finally ready to move on and have a season without Jen Shah's name coming up as much. Jen Shah's husband shares message to fans. Despite her guilty plea, Jen Shah's family continues to support her. They run her social media accounts to keep fans updated on how the reality star is faring in prison. Jen Shah's husband, Coach Shah, shared a heartfelt message to his wife's fans. The video message was posted on October 4, which was Jen Shah's 51st birthday. The football coach thanked fans for their support and sending messages to the Bravo star through social media. Jen Shah gets new prison release date. The Housewives star was originally sentenced to 6.5 years in prison. She was sent to the Bryan Federal Prison Camp in Texas in February 2023. That's the same prison disgraced Theranos founder Elizabeth Holmes is serving out her 11-year prison sentence. Shortly after starting her prison term, Jen Shah's sentence was reduced by 1 year. News reports that the Bravo celebrity once again got her sentence reduced. An additional 8 months have been slashed from her prison sentence. The Housewives star's new release date is December 19, 2027. Jen Shah, the reality star who gained fame from The Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, Housewives, has been making headlines for quite some time, but not for her on-screen drama. In a shocking turn of events, Shah found herself embroiled in a legal scandal that led to her incarceration. Initially sentenced to 6.5 years in prison for her involvement in a telemarketing fraud scheme, it now appears that Shah's prison release date has been adjusted, bringing new intrigue to her story and sparking questions about what comes next for the reality star. The legal saga. A quick recap. Jen Shah's legal troubles began long before her sentencing, with the telemarketing scheme allegations surfacing in 2021. Along with her assistant, Stuart Smith, Shah was accused of defrauding hundreds of elderly victims through a nationwide scheme. Prosecutors claim that Shah and her team tricked vulnerable people into signing up for dubious services, stripping them of their hard-earned savings. Initially, Shah vehemently denied the allegations, maintaining her innocence both in public and on Housewives. The court proceedings were a spectacle of their own, with Shah arriving at the courthouse in designer outfits, a reflection of the larger-than-life persona she displayed on the Bravo show. However, her staunch claims of innocence began to crumble as more evidence surfaced, ultimately leading her to plead guilty to the charges in July 2022. In January 2023, she was sentenced to 78 months in federal prison, leaving fans and critics alike wondering what her time behind bars would mean for her future and the Housewives franchise. The prison experience. Shah's life behind bars. Jen Shah is currently serving her sentence at the Federal Prison Camp, FPC, in Bryan, Texas, a minimum security facility that houses female offenders. Known for being one of the less restrictive federal prisons, FPC Bryan offers its inmates more freedom and access to amenities than many higher security institutions. While Shah isn't living in luxury, Her life behind bars is a far cry from the harsh prison conditions often depicted in media. Reports from inside the facility suggest that Shah has been keeping a relatively low profile, focusing on adapting to her new reality. Sources indicate that she has taken part in various prison programs, including those aimed at rehabilitation and personal growth. She's even earned praise from prison officials for her good behavior, which might have contributed to her latest news, an earlier than expected release date. New prison release date, the details. In a surprising twist, Jen Shah's prison release date has been moved up, with sources confirming that she could be released as early as August 2026, shaving over a year off her original sentence. While early releases are not uncommon for federal prisoners who display good behavior and take part in rehabilitative programs, this news has reignited speculation about Shah's future both in and out of the public eye. There's been no official statement from Shah or her legal team regarding the updated release date, but fans are already buzzing about what this could mean for her potential return to reality TV. Could Jen Shah return to RHOSLC after her release? Would Bravo welcome her back, or is her time in the spotlight officially over? The aftermath. What could Jen Shah's future look like? While it's too early to tell exactly what Jen Shah's post-prison life will look like, several possibilities have already been floated by media outlets and fans. A potential Bravo comeback. One of the most talked about topics is whether Jen Shah could return to RHOSLC after her release. The Real Housewives franchise is no stranger to scandal, with several stars having legal troubles during or after their time on the show. Teresa Giudice from The Real Housewives of New Jersey famously served time in prison and later returned to the show, becoming one of its most iconic stars. Could Shah follow a similar path? There's certainly precedent for reality stars making comebacks after legal troubles, but Shah's situation is somewhat more complicated. Unlike Giudice's financial crimes, which were arguably less personal in nature, Shah's telemarketing fraud targeted vulnerable individuals. This has led to divided opinions among fans, with some believing she should never return to the franchise, while others argue that her story is one of redemption and second chances. Bravo has yet to make any formal announcements about Shah's future with the network, but given the network's love for drama and ratings, it wouldn't be shocking to see her reappear in some capacity, even if not as a full-time cast member. Public speaking and advocacy. Another potential path for Shah post-prison is the realm of public speaking and advocacy. Many individuals who serve time for white-collar crimes eventually rebrand themselves as motivational speakers or advocates for criminal justice reform. Shah could leverage her experience to speak out about the dangers of fraud, the impact it has on victims, and the lessons she's learned from her time in prison. This route would not only help rehabilitate her public image, but also give her a platform to address her past mistakes in a meaningful way. Of course, this would require Shah to fully take accountability for her actions, something she's only partially done up to this point. Writing a tell-all book. Given the ongoing public interest in her story, there's also speculation that Shah could write a tell-all book detailing her rise to fame, her legal battle, and her time in prison. The Real Housewives stars are no strangers to the literary world, with several cast members from various franchises having penned memoirs. Shah's book, however, would likely be one of the most sensational, given the nature of her crimes and the public fascination with her downfall. A book deal could provide Shah with financial security post-prison and give her a chance to tell her side of the story, unfiltered by Bravo's cameras or courtroom transcripts.